Hey guys, I'm sitting here in my 2009 Mini Cooper, which I got back in February of last year. So it's been over a year, and then so now I'm doing more risky mods on it. So basically, to run my USB for my phone wherever I want to run USB, I'm using one of these, which plugs into the cigarette lighter. But it's all this space in here, and I found this one. It's 2 USB plus it gives you in the middle, give you the voltage of the battery. So I think this will fit perfectly in this spot. So in the end, I have to pull this off, cut a hole, drop this in, and wire it in. But to make sure it fits, I went ahead and measured everything, the diagram. Then if everything works out, I'll post this on a link to Google Docs. So this is my document. So you got the 2 cup holders, the lighter, and this is the shifter, and those are the dimensions for this to fit in there. So basically what I did is I went ahead and cut this out, which is what I have on this other one, and it fits in there to make sure it fits in there fine, just like that. Then what I did is, knowing the dimensions of the hole I need to cut out, which is the dotted line, I went ahead and cut that out with the X-Acto knife and made sure that it can fit, just like that. So you'll see that some of the black housing sticks over into the cigarette lighter, and some of it sticks out through the bottom where the shifter housing in. So I'm gonna have to trim this back a little bit to make it fit. So let me show you where I'm up to now. I went ahead and pulled out the driver's seat. That's why there's a big hole here. I don't mind pulling that out. I already pulled it out in the past to put the seat covers on, so you can look at that video. But basically you just take out the 4 torque bolts. Unplug this by pulling that on the other end, underneath the seat. There's a black lever connector or thing you pull this way, and that kind of like helps push it outward, works it out. So you pull it out, keep pulling it out, and then it pushes the connector out. And this, I have heated seats, so that's why I have this big old connector. For the passenger side, I didn't take out the seat, but what I did is I went ahead and loosened 3 of them and took 1 out, which allowed me to go ahead and pull back the armrest, which was bolted underneath the seat bracket. Depends if you have this or not. So the next job is to be able to pull out this whole centerpiece molding, and basically gotta take it off this, the parking brake, and take it off this. And if you go on Craven Speed, they sell replacement of this, a different, a fancier one, and they actually have instructions on how to pull this out, disconnect that. Same thing with this, they have instructions if you want to change out your shifter knob. You can see that they actually have some PDF document on how to take that apart. So I'm going to follow their instructions. So let's go ahead and pull this out, which they say just go ahead and pop this piece off first right here. Okay, this is what it looks like when you take the cap off. Basically it's just clipped on. It's keyed. You see this side of the clip is wider, longer than this side, so it's actually keyed on the way it goes on. So I guess I don't know why it would be keyed, but so basically you have to work this side and that side both off, past these little notches to pop this piece off. So the next is this, and it's really funny. If you look at the Craven Speed instructions, they say you basically just pull really hard to pull this off. It's just a press fit, and they say be careful because it's gonna fly off suddenly, and watch out for your sunroof so you don't like bang up against it and crack it. To have a funny cartoon illustration of that. So I have my trim tools. So basically go ahead and pop this off and pop off the bottom one here. and take out the 3 screws in the cup holders. So let me go ahead and remove something and show you what I did. Okay, I took out the 3 screws out of each of the cup, 1 screw out of each of the cup holders. Use a torque screwdriver for that torque bit. This I popped off with trim tools. Just work around gently, take it off. Hopefully I don't have to take it off this thing. I guess I didn't have to take that cap off either. I'm just going to try to work it in between that, so I probably didn't need to take off that cap. This I was able to pop off basically using plastic hammer, piece of wood holding one side and tapping it. So now I can see that it's loose. Came off the shaft. So now I just need to disconnect the electrical underneath for the 2 switches here and for the cigarette lighter, and start pulling it off. And I think this is clipped on underneath here, so I need to get it lifted up to get underneath that. We'll be able to take that off. So let me see if that works. Hey, so I got this out. I unscrewed the 3 screws to hold this in because I wasn't sure on how this connector that connects onto the bottom side here comes off. I couldn't see the tabs you press. So basically you don't have to take this out, since I know how to do it now. So I'm gonna put it back in. Basically, here's the connector. There are squeezies on both sides here, right here. There's one here, one here. These little things that poke out, basically. So basically, if you squeeze both ends, you should be able to pull it out without having to take this out. Didn't have to take the trim out of this because this just comes right off, just like they said. It looks like it's just a press fit right in there to get it to go. So pieces out. Let me look underneath. I see a couple supports here that go with this connector. So obviously, goes like that. So obviously I can't cut underneath there to put this unless I figure out how to relocate that. So let me think about that and see what I come up with. Okay, down at the shop, I opened this up and I can't modify this because underneath here is all circuit board. So there's no way. I thought I might be able to pop the cover off and run some new wires and just move this connector, but basically that's going to sit in there, so there's no room for me to drop that other USB connector. This would have been so perfect in this slot right in here if I didn't have this. I could fit it right in that spot, right in there with a little bit of trimming. But since this is in the way, I will have to flip it over and find somewhere else to put it. I had an extra one of these from another thing I did on another car. One of my cars where I actually swapped out the 12 volts for USB, and it gives you the in the middle it gives you the voltage. That's what it looks like that. But I want to keep this because I have not only because of my car pump to pump up the tires. I think I'm going to use this 12 volts for something else too that I want to plug in. So I can either use this one, the round one, or the long one here. So my thought is to find somewhere maybe along here, drop this in right in here, but not so crazy about that either, because then any USB I run would be pretty much just running across here. That's where I really wanted to put it. So let me figure out what I'm going to do here. Okay, this is what I ended up with. I looked underneath here, but I don't think there's enough clearance underneath it to fit. I have a round one to fit this one or this one without hitting stuff. So what I did is I went ahead and took out that front piece, which is right here, that goes underneath it. And I think I'm going to see if this round one will fit right in there. That way the round one would to kind of match this one. But I have to see if there's enough clearance underneath there, and basically I got some foam block. I'm going to cut out the shape of the size of that, how deep it would go, tape it to the underside, and see if it'll fit. If not, I might have to figure out something else. So that's the mock-up for how far this sticks out through the bottom. So I'm going to see if this fits. That sticks out pretty deep, so I'm going to see if it fits in the car or not. Well, this doesn't work. It's too long. So now I got to figure out something else. Okay, can't find any good place to put either one of these. So I think I'm just going ahead and do what I didn't want to do, is pop this out and drop this in, because there is a 12 volt back in the trunk, which allows me to hook up to the pump if I needed to. But I'm gonna just this doesn't fit perfectly because this is too diameter, this is too big, so I don't want to cut this in case if I ever put that back in. So I'm gonna go ahead and shave this down so I can fit it in here. Well, what the heck, went ahead and shaved this because I was I don't know why it mattered, because I was about ready to cut that to put that other piece in. So let's go ahead and fits right in. I think I might need a spacer on the other side to lock this down, because well, it might work. It'll screw down onto this rib shell right here. So I'm going to do that. Okay, there it is, tightened down with the locking ring. So now I'm just going to make some pigtails to go from this one to the existing connector, and that way because the configuration is different. It's like a T shape, these are parallel, so that way I just make up some pigtails. Okay, this new USB came with some wiring and a fuse, has a 10 amp fuse in it, so I just left that in there. So it came with these spade female connectors, so I just had to put in some male connectors on the other end that will plug into the existing one. And so I'm going to just wrap this up in some electrical cloth and just go ahead and put it back in. Okay, I'm back in the car. Here's the pigtail I made up. There's a fuse, connectors. So what I'm going to do is just make sure the connector, the old connector right here, just ohm it out to make actually check out the voltage to make sure which one's plus and which one is minus. Just make sure I connect it up correctly. Okay, check the voltage. This one on the bottom here, the if you look at this as a T, this bottom one is plus, and this horizontal one up on top is negative. So what I'll do is I'll connect my pigtail and then check it again. Okay, my pigtail's plugged in here, and checking the voltage, and it's 11.81, so I got the polarity right. So I'm going to go ahead and plug it into this to make sure it comes up okay before I button everything back up. Okay, I'm all plugged in. That's what it looks like. Gives me the voltage, so it looks good. So I'm going to go ahead and put everything back together. Okay, here's it all ready to go back in. I put those switches back in, holding on the 3 screws. There's that plugged in, has a polarity of plus and minus. You gotta read it. Don't forget to plug this back in when you put it back on. And so let me finish buttoning it up. Okay, here it is all put back together. Car running, shows 14.1 volts on the battery, so charging. So it's all put together. Didn't get it the way I wanted it, where I wanted this, actually add this here, not enough room underneath. But since I already took it all apart, gonna change it out to a USB with a voltmeter. So it's all back together. So good luck on yours. And I think I took the center console apart so many times, just like Groundhog Day. Made mistakes here and there, but finally got it back together. Good luck on yours.